Everyone, my name is Luke. This is the Outdoor Gear Review, and check this tent out right here. This is from Klymit, newly released in 2019. This is the Maxfield 2 tent, and this is a first look. Before going any further when talking about this tent, I want to make this absolutely clear. This is a preview, this is not a review. I'm simply talking about this product as it is still in testing now. Now, typically I don't do previews. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But in most cases, I don't. Now, in this case, I am doing a preview because this is newly released by Klymit. Klymit, the same company that has been producing some of the best sleeping pads in the world, has finally released a tent. Actually, in truth, they have two tents, the Maxfield 2 and the Maxfield 4-person. This is the 2-person. This runs $400. This is a 3-season tent. When it comes to the weight, you're looking at 4 pounds, 3 ounces. That's the packed weight. The trail weight is 3 pounds, 12 ounces. When it comes to the floor dimensions, you are looking at 84 inches by 51 inches. It has a peak height of 42 inches. You have one pole that is made from aluminum. When it comes to the tent stakes, you get 10 aluminum stakes. When it comes to the materials, you are essentially looking at a 15D ripstop nylon for the fly, a 40D nylon for the floor. When it comes to the body, you're looking at a 20D nylon mesh. Hako. Oh, Hakos, both of you. Oh no, there's 3. Sweet. There are hawks that live here at Lone Wolf Mountain. Looks like they added a friend today. Anyways, getting back more on point. When it comes to the Maxfield 2 tent, I have begun testing this out, and so far I have to say that I'm very impressed. There is one area that I'm not so impressed with, and it's very, very minor. Klymit, in my opinion, did not include enough tent stakes to really set this thing up 100% the way that I want to. You certainly do not have enough stakes to stake out the guy lines on the side, say if bad weather is coming in. You have essentially enough to do this setup right here, but you have to connect the back and even the sides to stakes that are staking out the body. In my opinion, you get a tighter pitch when you have additional stakes all the way around. With that choice from Klymit to include so little tent stakes, seems a little bit odd to me because there's so many places to stake this thing out. You could see that it was designed really to have the fly pulled away from the body all the way around, but yet you simply do not have enough tent stakes to do that. Which, in my opinion, is a shame, but it's not a deal breaker because so far, the tent is very, very good. With that being said, this tent does have a lot going for it, especially when it comes to the design. It's very, very smartly designed. It's super easy to set up. Essentially, you can look at the tent and it tells you how to set itself up without having to read any instructions or anything like that. Such thought and care is the hallmark of a good product, and the trend continues throughout the design of this tent. The quality is excellent. So far, I have begun, as mentioned, testing this out. I have 2 nights in it so far. One with some light rain. There was no issues with the leaking. Everything was 100% waterproof. I do intend to get this out in some nastier weather to ensure that it is really stormproof. But based on the design and what I'm seeing here, it absolutely is. There's no place for water to be blown in to the tent itself. The fly goes almost down to the ground, which is great for keeping out the weather. When it comes to airflow, you do have the door, you have 3 vents, and whatever air makes it underneath the fly. Right here you have the front door and the gigantic vestibule. This thing is huge, everyone. I mean, as you can see here, you can have easily 2 packs, gear, and so on. This is the front door, fully mesh. The body itself is 100% mesh. You do have a bathtub floor. All the seams are taped. Going into the inside here, it's a palace. It really is. For 1 person, it's a palace. For 2 people, absolutely comfortable. Susan and I have had no issues with our sleeping pads. Both of us, our gear inside of here. Yeah, it's very, very well thought out. You do have a caddy right up here at the top. Side pockets. You do have a loop up here at the top. As you can see here, the size of this thing is awesome. Plenty of room to sit up, move around, change clothes, do whatever you need to do. Big enough for 2 people to do that, actually. 1 person at the front, 1 person at the back, changing clothes, doing whatever you need to do. This tent is very, very spacious. And I have to say that I really like the design of this. Talking about the space of this tent for a second, the floor area is almost 30 square feet. It's like 29.3 square feet. It's a large tent. There's a lot of space inside of this. At the same time, you do have to keep that in mind because it does take up a sizable chunk of real estate to set this thing up. As I mentioned before, the vestibule is huge. That offers you 14 square feet of space to store your gear. Now, as you can see here, this is the stuff sack, the storage bag for this tent, and I really like the design. This is what they refer to as a roll-up tarp, and it's awesome. It's very well thought out. Essentially, with this extra material, as you're going about setting up the tent, you don't have to worry about components getting wet or dirty because it can lay right on this mat. Less dirt, less wear and tear on your tent, and so on. So there you have it, everyone. That is the very first tent from Klymit. Klymit makes some of the best sleeping pads in the world. I still have my Static V, my Recon pad. I've had that thing for bloody ever. It's one of those pads that I go to so often, grab it and use it. Yeah. But anyways, with this tent, the Maxfield 2, I am impressed so far. My review will be coming up. I will also have a test night episode coming up. As of right now, the time of posting this video, I do have a before you buy video. That is in regards to the setup, how easy, how complex. To answer that question, it's an easy process to set this up. Not the easiest, but far from being complicated. Everything's color-coded. It's very simple. There are plenty of steps, but they're simple steps. So now that you've seen this tent in more detail, make sure to comment down below and share your thoughts. What do you all think about the design? What do you all think about the color choices? That is something that I should talk about. Personally, I don't mind this at all. The gray, the orange, which is almost a yellow, but I'm gonna say it's orange. I like it. It's not Teletubby colors. It's not offensive in any sort of way. I like it a lot. For the outdoor gear review, that's it for now. Make sure to pay attention to the channel. You will see more on this tent coming up in the future. Everyone, take care. Have a great day. Strength and honor.